we will be bringing some ESL Masters Summers broadcasts to you, and we're going to be catching up on the replays. The replays have been made public, so we will be going over a lot of the group stage from day one as well. Basically, everything that we didn't cast. We casted 10 hours of StarCraft day one of DreamHack. We're going to cast another 10 hours, basically. That's the goal. That's the goal. So keep an eye out if you're interested in that sort of thing. We will be casting the replays over the next couple of weeks, but here we are in the grand finals of ESL Open Cup number 180 Americas, papi, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. To dive into this. Again, from hearing this message, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. Is it going to be the Protoss? Is it going to be the Terran? Is it going to be MaxPax or Clem? It is up to you to decide and place your channel points on the line for this best of 5 grand finals. Oh boy. And here we go. Game 1 is going to be taking place on Gressvan. And we do have Clem setting up for a Rax expand. You love to see it. Do love to see it. I know MaxPax is a very versatile player in PvT. When I think of MaxPax, though, I do think of a more Twilight Council, Blink Stalker heavy style player. I know that he has it within him. He has it inside him, papi, to go for Phoenix Colossi if he ever so chooses. He definitely has like the ability to do so, but I feel like more often than not, he does like to be a lot more active if possible. I wonder if that changes, though, when he's up against Clem of all players. We do see MaxPax here on the low ground trying to delay that CC, but Clem does throw it down on location. Not off-center at all. Again, it was a Rax expand setup, so an economic opener here from Clem. Meanwhile, we do have an SCV scout going across the map. Clem just confirming that it was a gate expand from MaxPax as well. Just making sure that everything is on the up and up. Do love to see it. Meanwhile, behind this, we have a factory on the way, so there's no kind of weird 2-on-1 or even 3 racks follow-up. Nothing like that. Just getting into our standard setup. Meanwhile, the Reaper gets across the map, does get a probe kill already. Nicely done. He wants another. He will get 2 probes for his troubles. Very good damage here from Clem. And can he escape as well? He maybe wants a third. Oh my, he gets a 3rd probe for the price of his Reaper. And something that's a little bit unfortunate, as the building bunker is going to be a little bit delayed, is that Clem didn't scout the tech. He wasn't able, his Reaper was more concerned with economic damage, and he wasn't able to confirm the Twilight Council opener of his opponent. So Clem is a little bit in the dark. Behind this, the bunker is done. Deeper's wall is raised. The Adepts are going to be able to deny any kind of mining here at the natural, so for a while Clem is going to be stuck on 1 base economy, at least until he's able to muster up a large enough army to deal with these Adepts. Oh, the dance. We can see Clem trying to chip away at this army here, but a very delicate dance is being played. Where these Marines are very vulnerable to these Adepts, so you have to be careful with their movement overall. Oh, Hellion is pulled back in time. Very nice control here out of Clem. He cleans up the Adepts without losing a single unit. 1 Adept will barely escape, though. Behind this, we're setting up for a drop as well. Medevac is on the way. Widow Mines alongside it. Again, to get scouting information and to figure out, and to potentially even deal some counter damage. Meanwhile, I was talking about how MaxPax, he does seem to be a little bit more fond of these Blink Stalker heavy styles, which I do appreciate. It's a little more active, a lot more fun to watch. We do have 2 gateways here at the natural. We have 2 gateways in the main, so it's going to be a 4-gate Blink Stalker opener here from MaxPax. Oh, the job has been spotted as well. Medevac already taking a couple of hits. as Clem does threaten to drop into the natural. MaxPax, he keeps 2 Stalkers back at home and he moves out with everything else. Again, because of this 4-gate opener, MaxPax, he needs to be aggressive. He needs to do damage. Well, he wants to do damage, I should say. His army does get spotted by these Hellions, so Clem is fully aware that Stalkers are making their way across the map. We have 1 tank getting in position in the main base. We have a Raven moving out as well. But only 1 tank, so there is opportunities available here for MaxPax. He can blink into the main, but look at the Sim City. That tank is so well protected. Or is it? We do see the blink into the main base. The tank will go down. Turret is going to help buy some time as well, but these Stalkers, oh, they're getting out of control. The Raven gets picked off. The Marines don't stand a chance. We're going for a warp in, and we're denying Stim. Oof. Clem just snowballing a little bit here. With the blinks, with the Prism Micro, he does lose 1 Stalker, but 1 Stalker for a tank, a Raven, and 2 Tech Labs, well worth it. Oof. Meanwhile, we can see he's trying to focus down and power through the repairs here on this bunker, but alas, Clem will be able to keep it alive. MaxPax hasn't gotten out of control yet. But he's coming back into the main. He wants the add-ons once again, and he's gonna get them. Tech Lab goes down. Stim on the way, but again, it's looking very exposed. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, that's the 2nd time Stim has been denied. We're blinking on forward anyway. MaxPax, he knows how much of an advantage he has. He takes down the tank. He takes down the Marines. Another tank does come out in time. MaxPax does get surrounded here by those SCVs, but these Stalkers are so damn tanky. The micro. MaxPax will lose a lot of units towards the end there. 15 Stalkers going down. You could definitely argue that maybe MaxPax was a little bit too overzealous, but he just keeps denying Stim. He resets the tank count again. Oof. Even the flanking mine goes down as well, as the drop did turn back around. And from here, MaxPax, he's taking his 3rd base. It's already up and running, getting fully operational. Stim being rebuilt for the 3rd, 4th time. Just ay, ay, ay. As the army gets distracted in the main base, we have a MaxPax blink over into the natural. 11 SCVs in total going down. We have another warp in into the main base. He wants Stim, and he's gonna get. Oh, he gets the tank, and then he can get Stim. He can get whatever he wants. Let's be real here. It looks like in the natural he does get forced back. In the main base, he gets 1 tank. He wants a 2nd, and he will get it. Oh no. Not like this. At least he doesn't get Stim this time. I'm shocked that we didn't try to get Stim on the the racks towards the backline instead. Clem living life on the edge. What's important though is that Clem has 0 tanks. Every single time a tank comes out, MaxPax, he dives on it immediately. And without tanks, Clem doesn't really have too much pushing power, especially without Stim as well. So MaxPax, he is so safe back at home. He is so free to just drone up, probe up, tech up as well. We have +1 on the way, charge. We can work towards our splash damage as well. Clem has been having a really hard time getting into the mid game. Finally, Stim is done. We can be active. We're going for a drop. As MaxPax takes a 4th. He's up 2 bases to his opponent, which is terrifying. MaxPax has been bleeding out a lot of Stalkers though, so his army is still comparable to that of Clem's. I would say Clem's army is actually stronger than his opponent. As we do dive into the main base, do we have a warp in available? The Blink Stalkers have to be careful not to be caught out in the middle of the map. A lot of probes are going to be going down. We do force a recall. Ooh. We will be able to defend the main base at the same time though. The main army pushes towards the 3rd, but we have an Immortal. We have Zealots in position. Clem does get 10 workers. Again, very necessary damage. Clem had to slow down the economy somehow, some way. But as Clem kills 10 probes, he loses 4 SCVs back at home. Aye. You can see MaxPax pushing through the center of the map. Does run into the army of his opponent. Clem goes for the scan. Oh, he sees that the 4th base is already up and running. It's going to be a rough road to recover here for Clem. Not impossible. He still has a pretty scary army now that he has Stim. But the force fields are looking even better. Zealots putting in a lot of work. The boys have to be pulled. We have Zealots coming in from behind as well, catching the reinforcements. And with the power of these Zealots, with the Immortals as well, MaxPax, he breaks the 3rd base. He's breaking the natural as well. There isn't much else here. Oh, here come the reinforcements though. We're going to be able to actually catch the entire army. MaxPax overextending heavily here. He just wasn't expecting the mass amount of Marauders to come down from the main. Clem will hold on. And MaxPax's army is looking worse for wear. Oh. Ooh, 1 Viking will go down. Can he get the second? Oh, he will get the second Viking as well. Colossi comes out just in time. Just in time to protect the 3rd base. We're getting a 5th, by the way. Now, what's important is that MaxPax's economy is insane. But even though he has an insane economy, his army hasn't been able to build up. Like, he's been losing Immortals, he's been losing Stalkers. Even here, he's going to lose the Colossi as well. Clem, oh my god, will be losing the game regardless. We have a counterattack at his 3rd base. GG gets called, and MaxPax will take game 1. But Clem was fighting tooth and nail towards the end. He was like squeezing water out of a rock at that time. It was crazy. Turning water into wine, if you will. Oh. Alas, he was just too far behind. And as he caught that Colossi and as he was being pushed back, there was a massive counterattack at the 3rd base of Clem. Just a little bit too much for him to handle. And yeah, GG. GG, pal. And with that, we're going to be getting into game number 2. I think a lot of people, I think we've even pointed this out in the past because we've been casting a lot of MaxPax recently. I think arguably MaxPax has the best 4-gate blink in the world in PvT. I think arguably he has the best like execution of 4-gate blink Stalker. I think it was, God, I can't remember what tournament we were casting, but we casted MaxPax a couple of weeks ago. And he literally just 4-gated blink every single Terran. Like every single Terran. It may have just been ESL Open Cup Americas actually. And he just 4-gated every single Terran player and he just won. He just beat everyone with it. It was crazy. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top left hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the Danish Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming. Leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Where we go. And to mainline some Quack. Aye. Let's go. So pretty impressive game 1 there from MaxPax, just taking a pretty solid lead early on with his execution, of course, of his 4-gate blink and just snowballing so heavily out of control. I think he denied Stim 3 times. He sniped like 4 tanks. Got surrounded a couple of times, but for the most part, he was taking really good trades and macroing so well behind it. Oof. Once MaxPax got rolling, it was really hard to stop him from rolling and getting out of control. But we'll see. We'll see if Clem can fight back here in game number 2. Once again, going for a Rax Expand. Only a single Gas Geyser is taken. So he is setting up here to take his natural. Do love to see it. And with that, yeah, we're going to be able to get into a pretty similar game state as last game, at least. We'll see what Clem's follow-up will be as well. I don't think this is this isn't the best map for 4-gate Blink, but you know, I'm sure MaxPax will go for it anyway. Why not, Papi? Why not? As we do have the initial Reaper going across the map. Remember, last game the Reaper did get 3 probe kills, and he's going to be looking to reprise his role and do an equal amount of damage. 1 probe is going to be going down already, but only 1. This time Clem does see the tech. He does spot the Twilight Council. He's fully aware of the potential for Blink on Dragon Scales. Meanwhile, across the map, we don't just have the Adept, we have a Zealot as well, looking to disrupt the CC, but the CC will finish up in time. Whew, very close here. Because the rush distance is so short on Dragon Scales, it makes sense for MaxPax to move out here to try and slow down the economy of Clem. And he's going to be able to. Like, really cute micro here from these SCVs, but they have to be unloaded, they have to be sacrificed, and oh my god, the wall is not a wall, the Adepts are coming in! Uh-oh. The whole position on the depot, make sure that it stays lower. The Adepts are getting into the main base as well. They're going to be able to disrupt some of the production. The starport is going to be slowed down. Hellion falls, the Marines as well. This should not have happened. Ay. Reaper somehow survives, and Clem is able to regain control of his main base, but 3 workers went down. A Hellion, Marines. Oof. Delayed mining here at the natural. And we also got a full scout of the main. We confirmed the 111 coming out from Clem. As the Hellion and Reaper that survived are going for a counterattack. They're going to be able to get a little bit of damage here. Not too much, as they get 1 probe. Almost a second. Behind this, Blink is on the way, but we only have 3 gateways for the time being, so it looks like we're going to be going for a faster 3rd base. Off of 3 gates, you can assert yourself, you can contain your opponents, but you can't be anywhere near as aggressive as we saw MaxPax in game 1. So MaxPax is just looking to be active, but take a faster 3rd base behind this. Prism is on the way, to reinforce. Do have a mine drop being set up again. Only a singular mine is slipping into the main base, and do we have a reaction out of MaxPax? We do. Oh, the retargeting. Up. We do force the unburrow as well, and MaxPax is forced to back off. Ooh, Widowmine will be saved at the same time. Stalkers do slip into the natural. Oh god. They're gonna be taking a lot of hits. No Stalker goes down, but a lot of hull damage was dealt. The mine drop does get pushed away. Widowmine was focused down without a shot going off. Oof. And the medevac gets sniped as well, so I think that was a better trade for MaxPax overall. He didn't lose any Stalkers, didn't lose any probes, did shut down the drop. Meanwhile, we see Clem being a little bit cheeky here. He does make a singular Banshee. Banshee is going across the map. Will confirm not just the base, but also rain down upon some of these transferring workers. Meanwhile, MaxPax does blink into the main, but after we see a tank here, 2 tanks even, MaxPax will respect that, will back off. And this Banshee is putting in a lot of work. A lot of work is being had here. 3 workers going down. We do keep a bunch of Stalkers busy back at home. And yeah, MaxPax again, he's just looking to contain his opponent with this. He's not really looking to commit and try to snowball out of control. This time, Stim combat shields will finish up. The tanks do protect the main base. Them is in a much better position. We have Marines in position as well to push away this Prism. Stalkers are going to be able to get 1 Marine, 2, maybe 3. Oh. Stalkers do get out. And Clem is working towards... never mind. gonna say he's working towards a big push, but a third CC is thrown down, which is spotted by MaxPax. They'll see it ahead of time. So Clem looking to be active with a handful of units for certain, but is going to be expanding behind it. Is going to be looking to get into the mid game. And this force has to be respected as well. Does catch a free Stalker. Stim is done. Oh my god. And we are just sending everything we have across the map as well. The tanks, the Marines, the Marauders. Charge has completed. MaxPax is setting up for a bit of a counterattack, but if he warpins across the map, then he won't be able to warp in back at home. Tanks getting into a beautiful position here on the high ground. Do have the overcharge being popped. We barely have any units though. Again, there's only a handful of Stalkers. We did go for a Zealot warping across the map, but it will be cleaned up. And Clem, he's going to be able to snowball. He's going to be able to break the defenses. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 2. Ooh, GG. MaxPax, because he lost his observer, he didn't know how committed Clem was. He, like me, I'm sure, assumed that Clem was only moving out with his double medevac drop, just a handful of Marines and Marauders, and that's it. Was not expecting the tanks to also come with the army. As a result, MaxPax just wasn't ready for that assault. He wasn't ready to deal with that whatsoever, and yeah, Clem able to catch him off guard. Take game 2. We have a series. We have a tied up 1-1 score. Let's go, Bob. Let's go. I'm sure MaxPax is thinking like, this is why I shouldn't 3-gate. This is why I should just throw down the 4th. Why not, Papi? Why not? As we're getting into our next game. Número 3. Yo, I am so looking forward to getting some food after this. It's gonna be amazing. And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Ooh, in a tied up series, 1-1. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player fighting back in that last game, tying up the series 1-1. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. So we've seen 2 different Twilight Council variations from MaxPax. Game 1, he went for a 4-gate. Game 2, he went for a 3-gate into a faster third base. Game 3, are we going to see something more economic? 2-gate openers into third bases are a little bit trendy nowadays. On a map like Royal Blood, I don't know if that's really the wisest of choices. I don't think this is the worst map. I think this is a pretty good map for something like Blink. Could try and take advantage of the Terran player. We have yet to see a Stargate into Phoenixes, and I hope we avoid that, but it's not up to us. It's up to MaxPax. We'll see. We'll see. As a shout out to C Grail in the chat for the 100 bits. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you for the bits. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support as always. Thank you. Thank you. Less than 3, Papi. Less than 3. C Grail always here to rain bits on us. Make it rain, Papi. Make it rain. Ay, ay, ay. As this probe is just trying to be a little bit annoying. Once again, every single game so far, Clem has gone for a Rax expand, so very economic openers to begin with. At some point, will he mix in a proxy? Maybe, but for the time being, is going to be, content with this more macro opener. Behind this, factory is on the way. Reaper is moving out as well. Clem looking to shut down at least the scouting probe. course, this time Clem did not make the initial Zealots because the map was a little bit shorter, or it's quite shorter on Dragon Scales. He was able to make that initial Zealot and be very assertive early on. This time, only going to be committing here to the Adepts, is going to be shading across the map, trying to get some scouting information for himself, as MaxPax is now diverting his attention away from the Twilight Councils and is going to be going for a Stargate opener instead. Okay, so MaxPax has been like varying it up quite a bit over the course of this series. Every game so far has gone for a different opener. Never the same thing twice. Now with this, we can get into Phoenix Colossus, or we could try and go into an Oracle first instead to try and get some economic damage early on. Very hero-esque. But as we can see, there is no Oracle, so it looks like MaxPax is just looking for some map control. Is going to be going into Phoenixes, looking to, with that map control, be very tech heavy behind it. And he's got some options. There are some players that go into a Twilight Council for charge, like Charge Lot Phoenix can be very aggressive and very powerful in the mid game. Or he could try and cut corners and go into a Robo and go into Colossi, which is Asher's favorite build. He likes it, man. He likes the Phoenix Colossi. Oh, let's go. We'll see as we have Clem going for the same opener, 1-1-1 into that one Widowmine drop. We have a second Rax and soon to be a third Rax behind this. Meanwhile, the Hellion and the Reaper dive into the main base, and they do confirm the Phoenixes at least from MaxPax. As the Hellion and Reaper gets cleaned up, Robo is on the way. It looks like it is going to be Phoenix Colossus. Oh, beautiful. Meanwhile, Mind Drop is going to be sent out, but it does get caught by the initial Phoenix. Ooh, Medevac is going to take a lot of hits here, and the Mine does get picked up. At least the Medevac will survive this time. If you remember, in Game 2, the Medevac was sniped in the middle of the map. This time it is shut. Well, this time it is saved, much to MaxPax's dismay. Meanwhile, as the Robo finishes, we have the Bay on the way. So again, we are just taking up straight into Colossi. Now, there's pros and weaknesses to this, obviously. MaxPax, overall, he won't have a lot of units. He is going to be vulnerable here. When he has 1 to 2 Colossi, he's going to be vulnerable to a push. But that window is quite small. And once the window closes, MaxPax is going to be quite solid with like 3 Colossi, for example. We can see that MaxPax is playing the safe as well. If he wanted to, oh, as his Phoenixes are being pushed away. If he wanted to, he could skip this Immortal and go straight into Colossi, but he's playing it safe. He's making an Immortal first, just so he has a unit on the ground, just so he has some kind of army here before he gets into his Colossi. Oh! Ooh, meanwhile, a bit of a premature lift there, so we do still get the lock on that Phoenix, but the Medevac does go down alongside 5 SCVs. We also get a full scout of the main base as well. Of course, Clem, because he knows it's Phoenix Colossi, he's making Medevacs, sorry, he's making mines, not so much tanks. Just making sure he's more defensively set up against all these Phoenixes, and that's a lot of Phoenixes, by the way. We're up to 7. Now 8 Phoenixes. First Colossi is coming out. And here comes the push from Clem. Does get spotted by MaxPax. He's fully aware of the army moving out across the map. And now the pressure is on MaxPax to try to defend with as little as possible. He has 4 units. He's got 2 Adepts, an Immortal, and a Colossi. And a lot of Phoenixes, to be fair. But that's it. That is his army. So Clem is looking to squeeze through that window, takes down a pylon, is going to be threatening potentially a drop into the main base. Phoenixes are in position. Observer does spot the army. And it looks like Clem is just flirting with the idea of pushing. He is going to be backing up from here. We have a 3rd CC on the way. Ooh, as a mine shot does go off on these Phoenix. I'm looking to reinforce. He's not backing off. He's committing. There we go. His main army is going to be keeping these Phoenixes busy. Meanwhile, the reinforcements are pushing out on the left-hand side. It is going to be spotted by MaxPax. He knows, and his Colossi are going to split up. MaxPax trying to just reposition himself. Scouting probe will confirm Clem heading towards that third base. We're going to have one Colossi and two Zealots to defend. And an overcharge, to be fair. MaxPax just has to be very careful not to overextend. And because he got spotted, Clem won't commit. He is going to back off for the time being. Again, behind this, just working on his third base, just getting his Raxes up and running. Like, this is a very tense moment here for Clem. So let's get a Zealot for his troubles. Reinforcing here on the right-hand side with more Marauders, with more Vikings as well. A solid lock-on on one of those Phoenixes as well. Doesn't quite get it in the end. And Clem is rotating over with his army. He's looking to reinforce on the right-hand side. It looks like MaxPax has recognized that he's going to be chasing this down before Clem can reinforce. Loses his Vikings, loses his Medevacs as well. Only one left. Here come the reinforcements from behind. Up! Colossi were exposed for a moment, but no, they are able to reposition themselves. They completely clean up so many of these Marines. My god. So many went down here on the high ground, thanks to the, of course, vision provided by this observer. Meanwhile, the Prism slips into the main base. Massive warping of Zealots. And now the turns have tabled. Now we have Zealots in the main base of Clem. We have the main army looking to power through his natural. Damage is going to be done one way or another. These Marauders are heavily bruised. Mine shot's going to be going off. GG gets called, and MaxPax will take game number 3. GG. Clem just losing far too much of his army as he was, you know, threatening his opponent. And yeah, that fight on MaxPax's side of the map, when on the right hand side, when Clem was trying to retreat, he lost far too many units, far too many Marines to those Colossi. We saw how things can very quickly snowball out of control if you lose too much. But of course, another big reason as to why MaxPax was able to close out the game there was thanks to that Prism into the main. The Zealot warp in just really pulled apart the attention. Not just the attention, but also the supply itself of Clem. He didn't have a lot to work with to begin with. And he had to, his reinforcements were tied up in the main base. Didn't have enough to hold on. GG. GG, well played. And now we're going to be getting into game number 4. And the question is, we've seen MaxPax go for 4-gate, go for 3-gate, go for Phoenix Colossi. What haven't we seen yet? Is MaxPax going to continue to mix things up and do something different? Ancient Cistern is not a bad map to go for 2-gate blink into a third base, like a more economic build. But is that something you want to do against Clem? We're here to find out. Let's go. As we are getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, leading the series 2-1. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid, down in this series, one game away from elimination. It is Clem. Bane Gory in the chat. The turns were tabled. It's crazy. Aye. The aggressed became the aggressor. Oh. But yeah, oh my god, for the first time, I like this. For the first time in this series, Clem is going for a double gas opener on one of the largest maps in the map pool. Clem is looking to be aggressive this time, not economic. I don't blame him. it does feel like so far this series, MaxPax has had a lot of control. He's been able to dictate the pace of every game so far. Clem is going to be skipping his SCV Scout. He's going to be skipping his Marine, and Reaper going for a reactor first. Oh. Oh boy. Behind this, we're going to be going for that said factory as well. This probe is going to be locked out of the main base. Yeah, not quite certain what is going on. There could be a CC on the high ground. For all MaxPax knows, Clem could be hyper greedy right now. Skipping all units, skipping scouting, going straight into a CC. MaxPax does not know as we're getting into double Reaper. Oh my god. Okay. Double Reaper production. Let's go. Oh my god. So I want to believe that Clem is going to be going into Reaper Hellion and looking to try and power through and just get some economic damage done. We'll see. I mean, scouting both Reapers is going to be a bit of a tell here for MaxPax, as the probe does escape. Hellions are being produced. And we'll see if MaxPax can get an eye on things, as the Reaper production is continuing. Same with the Hellions as well. First Adept is shading on in, and it does force units to react here. The SCV will go down. The CC will be delayed. Again, upon seeing that CC, MaxPax is fully aware that this was, of course, a double gas opener. So, the power here of Reaper Hellion in the early game of PvT is that we can just run past everything. We can run past the Stalker, we can run past the Adept, we can get into a mineral line, and we can do some damage. Or we can try and go toe-to-toe with this army as well. We'll see what Clem decides to go for. Shield Battery is about to finish up in the natural. This was a Stargate opener into Phoenixes, by the way. Oh, and here we go. We do just run past the army of MaxPax. One of the Hellions will be lifted and the other will be focused down, but not before a couple of probes do fall here to the Reapers. Again, this Phoenix can't really help out too much, but the army is going to be forced back. 3 probes, not bad, but this was a pretty big investment for a delayed CC as well. Bear that in mind. I'm sure Clem was hoping for a little bit more damage, but I mean, I guess 3 probes for 1 Hellion is still a good trade here for Clem, as he's distracting this army. He's just dragging the Phoenixes all the way to the corner of the map, just making sure they're as out of position as possible, just delaying any kind of scouting. Behind this, we're setting up for a 2-1-1. Nothing too crazy. Because of these Phoenixes, we're getting into Cyclone production as we speak. The Marines are also positioning themselves to protect the mineral lines. And behind this, we have the Robo on the way. So once again, MaxPax is going to be going for a Phoenix Colossi, or at least that's what it looks like. It looks like he's headed in that direction. Yeah, Immortal's on the way. We should be seeing the Robotics Bay thrown down once we have enough gas. And MaxPax is looking to have a bit of a repeat of that last game. There it is. There's the Bay. MaxPax, he likes his bays. He does like them. I don't blame him. Do not blame him at all. And yeah, there's a reason why this is so meta. There's a reason why this is so common in this matchup. It's just once you get things going, it's so difficult to break the Protoss player. Once they have 2-3 Colossi, any kind of bio-based push is going to have a hard time breaking through. It does kind of keep the Protoss very safe, and it just gives them a lot of aggressive potential as well. I'm going to have to respect that. Just turtling up here on these 2 bases. 3-1-1 here on 2 bases. Pretty standard production setup here for Clem. Nothing too crazy. Stim still on the way, and Clem is looking to move out. Bearing in mind that there is no 3rd CC yet, I say yet because it's not like we've thrown down 2 more Raxes. It's not like we're pulling the boys. As a +1 is on the way, the army of Clem is on the move. With these tanks, he wants to try to get in range and lay siege upon this base. Do we have our first Colossi? We do. Oof. But MaxPax is already going to be losing one of his Phoenixes. Clem not really being slowed down at all. Force field is going to buy MaxPax a little bit more time. The first Colossi does hit the field, but the tanks do siege. Ooh, and they do shell away at the Colossi. Oh my god, it almost goes down. Overcharge is going to be popped. Oh, as it looks like the Colossi gets on top of the army. The Phoenixes CC the tanks as well. They're up in the air, and they do care. Oh, but the target firing, the Phoenixes do go down, and 1 tank survives. The position has not been broken. If this tank had gone down, then Clem just crumbles, but no, he's able to reinforce. He can keep on pushing. Suddenly, MaxPax is in a lot of trouble. He lost the majority. He lost 7 Phoenixes in that push. He tries to pick up the tanks as well, and it looks like, oh, Clem barely gets the Colossi. He's only got 1 tank left though, and it looks like Clem, he doesn't want to, he's already been flirting with death. He's getting his 3rd CC on location. He knows that he can't quite break MaxPax, not anymore, but he did a lot of damage. He did very well for himself. He killed a Colossi, he killed 9 Phoenixes. So because he reset the Phoenix count, that means that suddenly Clem can go for drops. He can go for drop play. His pushes are going to have that much more power behind them as well, so much more potential. MaxPax has lost so much of his just map presence and map control. So a really worthwhile push there from Clem. He may not have ended the game, but he put himself in a really good position. Behind this, MaxPax is trying to diversify his army. He's working towards Charge, working towards the Templar Archives as well for Archons. His army right now looking very vulnerable. Only 2 Colossi. No Phoenixes to support. Clem, he has a massive supply lead right now. He can push in, maybe even end the game. He does catch the Prism. Does go down. MaxPax in a panic is going to be consolidating his army. He's trying to warp in as much as he can. And it looks like with these Archons, especially with the completion of Charge, MaxPax should be fine. Charge isn't done yet though. Bear that in mind. Charge is still on the way. We can see the army rotating over towards the fresh mining base of MaxPax. MaxPax out of position. Looks like he's going to get here a little bit too late. 4th base is going to be cancelled. At the same time, MaxPax is trying to go for a Zealot run-by. This run-by has to do damage because Clem is just getting further and further ahead. Reinforcements get here in time. The Zealots, they don't do anything. Meanwhile, we're going to try and collapse on this army as well. Do we have enough Zealots? I don't think we do. The tanks, they do get so many shots off the target firing on the Colossi. Every single Colossus is going to go down. Oh god! Almost goes down. 1 gets saved. Ugh. MaxPax barely takes that fight. But losing 2 Colossi is already worth it here for Clem. Oh my god. The final Colossus goes down. There's nothing to stop the Marines and Marauders from just diving on this army. The Vikings land as well, and MaxPax loses almost everything. He's only got Zealots left. And Zealots on their own, they can't do much. We have a scan on the 4th. And Clem is up with his economy, he's up with his army, he's up in almost every aspect of this game. Again, that first push did so much for him, killing those 9 Phoenixes. Basically secured his victory in this game. And it's been so hard for MaxPax to recover ever since that moment. Now we have a Disruptor. We have an Nova. Goes off. Is it looking? Ooh, a very good connection for MaxPax, but even with a good connection, it's not enough. We need more than one Nova. And one Nova is all we had. It's all MaxPax had, as we are able to take a couple of hits from those Zealots. But for the most part, Clem has broken on through. At the same time, we do have a Zealot warping into the main base. Workers are falling. Oh, the Nova! Oh my god. Once again, Clem takes a massive Nova to the face. He loses 14 SCVs in his main. Now, the Nova mainly killed Vikings, not so much the Ghosts. It could have been worse. Could have been worse here for Clem. As Clem has lost his economic lead. 17 SCVs went down. I did not think much of that Zealot counterattack, but it actually crippled the economy of Clem. He's gonna have to try and recover here. He's got a 4th base on the way, though. Like, he's still ahead. He still has a lead. It isn't as large as it once was, but it's still there. But Clem is pulling this. MaxPax, he's pulling this off. He is fighting back. EMP will connect on those disruptors. Nova goes off, does connect with 2 of the Ghosts. Good connection overall. Another Ghost will go down, but we only have 1 Nova left, and it only zones away the army, pushing it towards the 3rd base. At the same time, we have a Zealot Rumba here at the 4th base. These workers are all going to go down. Ugh. MaxPax is holding. He isn't just holding, he is pushing Clem back. And yeah, that gap that we had earlier, it's nowhere near as large. MaxPax with now 3 disruptors. If we are able to connect with some of these Novas, then he can take a fight. A couple of Novas are going to be going off, taking down these Widow Mines. Army's going to be rotating over towards the would-be 4th base of his opponent. It is now up and running, but there are no shield batteries. Yeah, Nexus is being focused down. Nova will go off and will connect with some of those Marauders. We still have some more Novas in the chamber. Zealots, they come in from behind, and MaxPax gets this around. Forces the pickup. There is no blink. Oh, no, sorry, there is blink, but alas, MaxPax can't quite chase down the army. Has to respect it. Doesn't want to overextend. Boy. A couple more Novas going to be going off. None of them do connect. We only have 2 Novas left. We have to make them count. Again, they just merely push away the army. It looks like it will not connect either. Good target firing there from Clem. And without the Zealots, these Archons cannot engage. Speaking of Zealots, 4th base now gets up and running for Clem. Widowmine does get taken out. 5th base gets thrown down for MaxPax as well. He's like holding on by a thread. It feels like one wrong move, and like if at any moment the disruptors get caught or we get like a good EMP on the Archons, like Clem can still take this army. It's the disruptors that are really keeping Clem back. Every time he tries to push in, a Nova goes off. Up! Oh, once again, nice target firing. He does get a disruptor. Up! And as the armies clash, we have another Zealot run by here. This time, it's going to be able to get us around on some of these Ghosts. 1 Ghost will fall. Only 1. Once again, the armies do clash here. I'm rotating over towards the 5th base. That was every disruptor shot, by the way. That was every Nova. Mine, it goes off. EMPs connect, and MaxPax loses a little bit too much. At the same time, we had a mine drop here towards the 4th base. It looks like Clem has finally done it. Things were looking really scary for him. I was so concerned with how he was fighting with these disruptors. But he has more than enough. Oh god! That was 3 Ghosts. But again, he still has too much here. Clem has successfully snowballed out of control, and he's going to be looking to force the ace match. The final disruptors will go down. And even these mines do reset as well. Clem has done it. He was up against the ropes, up against the wall. Down in this series. That did not stop him. We have a couple of Colossi coming out, which is nice, but again, there's just not enough to support them. There's not enough on the ground. Zealots, Stalkers, Archons, anything else. GG gets called. And Clem ties it up 2-2. Ooh, GG. Oh boy, again, and a lot of this game, a lot of the success that Clem had came down to that first push at the third base of MaxPax, where the tanks were able to get in range, where MaxPax committed to a fight where he wasn't able to kill all the tanks, where he lost all of his Phoenixes. Oh. Clem got a lead very early on there, and he was able to hold on to that lead, able to maintain it. Now, we have Game 5. We have an ace match. Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We're going the distance. All the way, Poppy. All the way. Diving on the disruptor. So spoopy. Yeah, Clem has no fear, Poppy. He has no fear. Sometimes he should, but for the most part, he doesn't. And here we go. The ace match is going to be taking place on Altitude. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Oh, I just realized we're not on TL. God damn it. I guess I may as well add myself now by the final game. I knew I forgot something. God damn it. We weren't on the calendar this entire time. Smooth. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for everyone who joined us here today, not through TL but through Twitch or whatever means. Thank you so much. As we are getting into the ace match, game number 5, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Altitude, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 2-2, forcing the ace match. We have Clem. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Whew. Oh my god. I see the chat catching up. That was a hard game for Clem to close. It was. Like, it wasn't an easy road for Clem. Like, MaxPax, he fought back hard. We saw some pretty good Novas. We saw the Zealot counterattack specifically. Remember, MaxPax, he killed 17 SCVs in the main base of Clem that game. And that was enough to almost even things up. Like, that just goes to show how far ahead Clem was economically. Like, he had, even after he lost all those workers, he still had a worker advantage to MaxPax, which was crazy. On top of a base advantage as well. So, yeah, MaxPax really did make Clem work for it. Oh boy. As we are going to be getting into our next game. This time, Clem is going for the Rax Expand, going for a single gas opener. Yeah, as he did throw down an eBay there, forced to cancel and throw down that CC instead. So a bit of a misclick from Clem. All good. Not the biggest of deals, but it's a couple of minerals down the drain. 31, to be exact. And, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. For the last game we saw for the first time, Clem did go for a double gas opener. Here on Altitude, he's going to be going for something a little bit more economic instead. Makes plenty of sense, as this is the largest map in the map pool. Plenty of room to work with. We have seen a lot of Terran players even go for fast third TCs on Altitude as well. Players like Maru, Clem, Vindicta, Miguelito, Minks. So we'll see if he goes for that as Clem slips into the main base and gets eyes on the Twilight Council. MaxPax, he is done with these Phoenix openers. They are just far too close for his comfort. No, he's playing on a knife's edge. No, MaxPax, he wants to be assertive with Blink Stalkers instead. I don't blame him. You know, give this man Blink and 4 gateways, and MaxPax, he can get out of control. As we do have our 1-1-1 set up here for Clem. Going to be going for the mine, going for the medevac as well, setting up for a drop, I imagine, as we have seen throughout the course of this series. And from here, yeah, MaxPax is just going to be setting up for his robo. I'm curious to see if he's going to be going for a third base as well. Again, altitude is much more macro-oriented, so I wouldn't be opposed to MaxPax for throwing down a third base instead of 2 more gateways. And there we go, the third is on the way. Soon to be on the way. So once again, MaxPax is switching things up. For the first time this series, he goes for a 2-gate opener. 2 gateways into a third base, a very economic build here from MaxPax. Of course, he has Blink, but again, he's only looking for map control. He doesn't really have the potential to be aggressive with this and go into the main, as Clem does get eyes on the third. So he knows that he's going to be pretty safe. Safe and sound in his main. Oh, the Jukes! As the Reaper slips behind the mineral line, gets a full scout, confirms the Forge, the Robo, all that good stuff. Back at home. Clem just getting ready for anything. The Adept does shade into the main though, so we get a free scout get a very free scout here for MaxPax. Now going to be losing the first unit of the game as well. I'm sure Clem was hoping for an Observer to slip into the main base and catch it with the Raven, but alas. MaxPax doesn't need it. He confirms the 3-1-1 setup. The medevac, the Raven, the tank. But that Raven is looking to hunt down that Observer, and it will catch it with the auto turret. Beautifully done. Keeping MaxPax in the dark as Clem goes for that Widowmine drop. Meanwhile, from here, Clem is going for a pretty big gateway explosion. We've got 5 gates on the way, charge as well. So a mass swarm toss style, if you will. Just Stalkers and Zealots. There's no finesse here, no Disruptors, no Colossi. No Archons. Nah, we don't need them. We don't need them where we're going. And this can be a really dangerous unit composition to push into. It's one of those things where this mass Zealot army here, soon to be Zealot army of MaxPax, he wants to fight out in the open. He wants to fight in the center of the map as Clem pushes out. So we'll see if Clem gives him what he wants. There we go. He's going to be salvaging his bunker. He's going to be pushing out. Does get spotted here by MaxPax. Prism moving out for a counterattack. Third CC is going to be thrown down behind this, but Clem is still going to be quite committed here with his push. He is going to be slowed down a little bit here by these Stalkers. MaxPax, does he have enough at home to defend? He's got some Zealots, but he's going to be going for a backstab at the same time. Does he have enough to hold? As there's nothing back at home, these Zealots are going to be wreaking havoc in the natural base. Clem is now committed. Oh, actually, we have reinforcements back at home. MaxPax not quite going for an aggressive warp, and again, he needs everything back at home instead. The tanks are within range, and anti-armor missile does blanket the army, and that's huge. Zealots are going to try and come in from behind. MaxPax going for the surround. He does clean up at least a tank. Yeah, and he's able to push back the army of Clem. At the same time, across the map, he was able to kill 10 SCVs. Ooh, a scary blink there from MaxPax. He's going to lose a couple of his Stalkers. Widowmines are going to reset as well. But MaxPax does hold on without losing too much, and Clem is a little bit worse for wear. At least he was able to get his third base up and running, able to land on location. But the War Prism will be a threat. Be threatening his main base here for a while. Clem reinforcing. He wants to try to break that third base for a second time, or he wants to try a second time. Oh god, that's a lot of mines. That is a lot of Widow mines here for Clem. A massive shot goes off on those Zealots. At the same time, as he moves out, the run-by moves in. The drop does get into the main base. More SCVs are going down for Clem. His economy, again, still in shambles. But he has a large army, and he may just barely have enough to break through. The Warping of Zealots say otherwise. Clem has to pick up. He drops into the main instead. And he's going to be able to find a little bit of success here. It does force a recall. We do see him now rotating back over towards the third base instead. But the Colossi keeps up with the rotation. We have a stim. The Colossus is going to go down. No shot. There's no high ground vision. 8 HP. Okay. Colossi does go down in the end, but across the map, oh, the Zealots are wreaking havoc. They're on the third base. It's almost, oh my god, almost catches fire. The Prism goes back into the main as well. War Prism is going to be shut down, but not before the Zealots do get warped in. Ooh. Bit of friendly fire. Third base still under threat. MaxPax. Almost double the worker count of Clem. He was putting so much into the push. He was putting so much into the assault here on the third base, and he didn't break it. He did get a Colossi, to be fair. Getting a Colossus is pretty big. But that's really all the value he got. He has to keep on pushing. He has to keep the aggression up. He's going to be rotating over towards the fourth base here of MaxPax. Meanwhile, a lot of MaxPax's army is actually active on the map. He's trying to take control of the Zelnaga without losing his Zealot. That was cute. Very careful, meticulous play coming out from MaxPax. Meanwhile, he goes for a Zealot run by. He does get caught by reinforcements. I'm trying to find another angle here. He does get, what, 2-3 Stalkers and some Zealots? Pretty good stuff, actually. Very nice damage done here by Clem. Oof. He's again making the best out of a bad situation. Reinforcements are rushing across the map as we speak. No shield battery at the fourth. Best case scenario for Clem. Does feel like he's being cornered though, but there's no anti-air. He picks up, he goes for a drop into the natural base. At the same time, there's nothing here at the third. MaxPax, he just doesn't have enough. He can't keep up. The boys are being pulled. Oh my god. Not something you want to be seeing. Drop comes back in, focuses down so many, every single Stalker. Does get the medevac, so this army is forfeit. But he trades so damn well. And he wants the Colossus. Is he gonna get it? He is! Oh my god. These Marauders, they killed a Stalker army, a Colossi, and a Mineral Line. 17 probes go down. That evens things up. That shows how far ahead MaxPax was. And now he's gonna be losing the Colossi. Nothing shoots up. The Vikings take him down. And MaxPax is falling apart. There just isn't enough left. Even the observers go down. Oh god, this is still up in the air. This is still getting really scrappy, but MaxPax is just throwing away a couple too many units. Clem keeping the pressure up. Like, what does MaxPax have? He has 2 Stalkers and two Colossi. Aye. Here we go. We're looking to zone away the army. Widowmine shots are going to be going off on those Zealots. Speaking of, we do have a Zealot run by across the map. EMP will connect. Good worker control here. We only lose 2 SCVs. As we take down those zealots. 3 SCVs even. MaxPax is slowly stabilizing. The chaotic nature of this game is dying down a little bit. But once again, MaxPax just doesn't have the numbers to defend all his bases at once. He's being pulled apart here. He's being forced to react over towards the left. At the same time, a mine drop into the 4th. At the same time, Zealot run by. Oh my god, and the CC's on fire! Ay, not like this, Papi. Not like this. CC's forced to be picked up. Now that we have 3 Colossi, it looks like MaxPax has control of his bases. He finally can breathe. Oh, that's gonna be close. Oof. 4 more probes go down. CC on fire. Hopefully it will be repaired soon. Hopefully. Hopefully. It's gonna be awkward if that. There we go. There we go. We got a boy. He's on the job. He's on the job. Let's go. And yeah, things are gonna be settling down here. Again, this game was really chaotic, really scrappy as well. Very back and forth. Zealot Runby arrives just in time to get into the mineral line. The planetary is now done. Meanwhile, the Colossi have controlled the center of the map. We should be getting into disruptor production soon. For the time being, no disruptors in sight. We're maybe throwing away a couple too many zealots. Prism getting ready for a drop. And as Clem moves out on the left-hand side, MaxPax was moving out on the right. So once again, he's not quite in position here to protect his bases. We do get a cancel on the 5th base just before it finishes. At the same time, we have enough at home. The Prism goes down. This time, there will not be a Zealot counterattack. Oh, the ghosts were left exposed. Did I say there won't be a Zealot counterattack? At least in the main. We do have a couple of Zealots here at the 3rd. MaxPax trying to catch the army. He wants it. Won't get it. And there we go. The first disruptor has hit the field. Oh my god. It does still feel like Clem, like, he at least has the army advantage right now. Like, I do think that he can take a fight, especially outside of range of shield batteries, but MaxPax, I think he's also aware of that, so he's going to be just backing off. Staying closer to his bases. Clem gaining map control. We've got 2 forces, one towards the north, the other towards the south. Yeah, this 5th base isn't going to get up and running. You have another on the way, though. On the bottom right. Runby going to get caught out by these mines. We do have the job coming in, and he's going straight for the Nexus. There's no shield battery! It wasn't remade! No shield battery means no overcharge, means the base goes down. At the same time, here comes the main army of Clem. Oh, pushing him into disruptors. Has to be very careful. Oh my god, he stims! He snipes both disruptors. He has no fear. We have a recall, but it may not even matter. Oh my god. Oof. The Vikings take a lot of hits to the face. We have the drop on the left-hand side. Gonna be picking off a couple of workers, potentially, as he does turn back around. Meanwhile, MaxPax catches the army towards the right. But you can see Clem has a massive army lead. Supply lead in general. He's working on his 5th base. He's going to be picking up his main, landing here at the 5th. You love to see it. And as Clem moves out, he's pushing into surround. Here we go. We see Clem coming in from multiple angles. We get a full surround. The Colossi go down. The EMPs connect with the Archons, and MaxPax is going to lose everything. GG gets called. Clem fights back, and he's going to be this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. That's the wrong button. God damn, I gambled. There you go. GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem. Whew. As that was a hard-fought victory. Things were looking dire for him at the start of the series. Things weren't looking too hot. But give this man some breathing room. Give this man some of these larger maps. You know, we saw him thrive a little bit more as MaxPax was looking to cut some corners, looking to be a little bit more economic. And yeah, GG, very well played there by Clem. We saw MaxPax trying to pull him apart again, you know, with mass drop plays, Zealots in the main, Rumbys at the third, and they were doing some damage, don't get us wrong. But the main pushes from Clem were really what worked out for him. You know, very early on, if you remember, he was able to get Colossus kills. He was able to stem the tide. If you remember, MaxPax even went for an early counterattack and threw away a lot of his army as well. Like, it was very back and forth. The ace match, very back and forth in the end, and GG, very well played. Clem comes out on top once again. I don't know what it is, but Clem seems to have MaxPax's number. For the past 3 series, for ESL Open Cup EU, 78, 178, 179, and even here in the Americas, Clem has won every single series. The past 3 times that they faced, they've all been best of 5s, and Clem has won every single time. GG, well played. His TvP is just, you know, on par, if not better than that of MaxPax right now. Oh boy. Alas, there was no Protosses to face in ESL Masters Summer, but that's by the by. It's by the by. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone had a great time here in ESL Open Cup Americas. And yeah, I do apologize as well though. We did miss out on a couple of games here and there earlier in the broadcast. I also didn't post on TL. But I hope everyone was able to enjoy themselves, and yeah, we're kind of getting back into the rhythm of things. Now that DreamHack is done, now that ESL Masters Summer is in the books, now we can focus on reacclimating to all these online events. We just casted ESL Asia last night, Americas today. I mentioned it earlier, but we do have plans to cast some replays from ESL Masters Summer as well, just because a lot of matches weren't casted. So we're going to do our best to bring them to you over the next couple of weeks. Probably not today, not tonight, but maybe, what's tomorrow? So our next broadcast is going to be in over 24 hours, just over 24 hours. Tomorrow, Kung Fu Cup number 9, KFC is going to be upon us. So we're going to be casting that over on this channel. The day after, June the 1st, on Thursday, I'll try and clock in some replay casting there. That's gonna be my plan. Try to cover some of the group stage of ESL Masters Summer on Thursday, maybe Friday as well, back to back. Just because I know there are a lot of games to cast. So maybe Thursday and Friday will be what we focus on. World Team League is back this week as well, WTL. So be sure to tune into that. That's gonna be over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. WTL action is going to be brought to you. We also have KSL. We've got the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, and yeah, all of our tournaments are slowly coming back. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Also, some big news. I have to write this down. Actually, I have to remind myself remind myself to message some people, because the Africa Champions Cup number 2 has been officially announced, and that is, of course, a major event that does provide ESL points and EPT points, and we're going to be casting that as well. I don't think we're going to be casting the main event, but we will be doing our best to cast the qualifiers for the Africa Champions Cup. As a reminder, we did cast the qualifiers for the first Champions Cup. and the VODs are on YouTube, but we didn't cast it on Twitch. For the Africa Cup, so for the Africa Champions Cup, all the broadcasts have to be done on Africa. So we do have an Africa channel, we do have an account on Africa TV, and we do cast over there whenever we need to. We've been casting, we cast GSL there as well. We casted the GSL qualifiers actually on the Africa platform. So that's kind of unfortunately the rule there, and I know that a lot of people don't follow us or don't like using Africa just because it can have some really unstable connection depending on where you are in the world. It's not ideal. It's not the best. But keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out, as we will be bringing that to you live in July. In July, I believe. Next month. With that, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. As I believe there was... Am I crazy? I think there was a resub earlier? I can't... Oh god. Yeah. Shout out to Blaker Dudes. That happened a while ago, but Blaker Dudes did resubscribe for 6 months. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. And with that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. For some Kung Fu Cup action. Until then, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the week. Enjoy some StarCraft. See you later. Bye. If you want to follow us, Twitter, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. VODs are all on YouTube. We're on Discord as well, and we also have a Patreon. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can, as it does fund all of our tournaments and all of our events that we host here on the CranKy Ducklings, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, see you guys next time. Bye.